Pretend you hear a bell. Welcome to Theodore Parker Church. Do I hear feedback? We okay?
Yes.
Welcome to Theodore Parker Church.
Shit.
We heard that, Ruth. Our technicians are on it. We're good? I think we're good. Welcome to Theodore Parker Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Jennifer Bottomley, and I go by she and her, and I've been on the Music and Worship Committee for many years and serve in other capacities in and around the church. As we enter into worship, we bring with us all the sorrows and the joys of our week, and we know that here we are held in loving community. Here we are reminded that we are part of something larger than ourselves. Here we seek to counter oppression, to work for healing and justice in a bruised and broken world. Here we invite all of you to bring your perspectives, your beliefs and your doubts, and all that is unique and wondrous about you to our service. In the spirit of love, all are welcome here. For those of you joining us in person, a few things you may want to know. You can use the QR code that you'll see at the back of the pews or at either entrance to get the order of service on your phone. And our service is being recorded, so you can see it on YouTube later on today or tomorrow. If you would like to have a joy or concern shared with the congregation, today during the meditation period we'll have spoken joys and concerns, so you need not fill out a card today. People of all ages are welcome to move in and around the sanctuary if they need to, and there is kid care, so the kids will be going to RE later on today, but also there's a cozy little spot up here in the front for the kids, and it is full today. There's a lot of little ones down there, and the kids are welcome to go to RE when we sing the kids out. And many thanks to Ruth for doing the Zoom, and to Kevin for doing the AV. If we run into any difficulties for those of you online, you'll be put into the waiting room, so be patient, we'll be back. If you're new to Theodore Parker Church or you're visiting for the first time, there's a connection card in the pew in front of you, which you're welcome to fill out. There's also a table during our coffee hour and today our potluck where you can fill out the form. And we'd like to take a moment to greet our friends on the Zoom call. So for those of you on Zoom, put yourself in the video mode, and if you'll put us on gallery mode, Kevin, that would be great. So turn around, say hi to everybody. The camera's in the back. And as we continue to greet each other, if online, you may post a hello and in the chat. If you are physically in the sanctuary, we invite you to greet one another right now.
I invite you to be seated as Yukiko shares our prelude.
Good morning. My name is Rose. I serve as this congregation's religious educator. Our opening words this morning are by Kimberly Tomzak Carlson. It is not by chance that you have arrived here today. You have been looking for something larger than yourself. Inside of you, there is a yearning, a calling, a hope for more, a desire for a place of belonging and caring. Through your struggles, someone nurtured you into being, instilling a belief in a shared purpose, a common yet precious resource that belongs to all of us where we share. And so, you began to seek a beloved community. A people that does not put fences around love, a community that holds its arms open to the possibilities of love, a heart home to nourish your soul and share your gifts. Welcome home. Welcome to worship. Please join me now in singing our opening hymn. It's number 360. Here we have gathered. The words will be up on your screen, and please rise and body your spirit as we sing. Please join me now in saying our chalice lighting words, our words of shared covenant that we say each week, both in English and in Spanish. We say the Spanish in honor of our sibling community in Plazuelos, El Salvador. I have an idea of chalice lighters that I did not manage to ask before this point in the service, but I'm curious. It's New Member Sunday, as you might know. We're welcoming a whole bunch of new members and honoring some folks who joined last year. And there are a lot of kids who are part of that new member group. I'm seeing Teddy, I'm seeing Sailor and Grayson, I'm seeing, well, if you want to, Ave and James. Are any of you, or all of you, up for coming up to light the chalice? I see Teddy. Do you want to come up? Come on up. Thank you so much, Teddy. And anyone else in that group can still join too. Please join me in saying the words of our chalice lighting. They'll be up on your screen. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. El amor es el espíritu de esta iglesia, y el servicio es nuestra oración. Esta es nuestra gran promesa, vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad con amor y ayudarnos los unos a los otros.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Reverend Heather Concannon, and my pronouns are she, her, and I'm the minister of this congregation. And as Rose mentioned, today is New Member Sunday, and this spring we are welcoming 23 new members. Most of them are present today. Some are not able to join us in person, but are with us in spirit. Among this cohort, we also have 7 kids represented. So this morning, our welcome team is coming up to help us welcome our new members. But as I call your name, if you're here in person, I invite you to come stand up here with me and the welcome team, or give a wave from your seat, whichever you'd prefer. And your children are very welcome to join you as well. So this morning we welcome, and I'm going to ask us to hold the applause because there's a long list of names until the end. So this morning we welcome Larry Zaborski, Ann Brown, Amanda Munoz, Jay Dreyer, Kit Shaw, John Ventura, Christine Ventura, Julie Horgan, Mary Boyle, Suzanne Latendra, come on, right up here. You can go in front of me, it's all good. Jess Loftus, Greg Loftus, Eileen Finnan, Jack Castor, Gina Kennedy, Liz Selleck, Josiah McDonald, Neftali McDonald, Laura Maltby, Larry L'Italian, Trevor Akerley, Nora Magdol, and Katrina Magdol. Welcome, new members. Let's give them a round of applause as they join us. Oh my goodness, look at this crew. I have closed my... Oh, and I'd also like to call up Jessica Lisak, who joined last year and it was not able to be in person with us as well. Jessica and children, come on up as well. Thank you so much for joining us today. So welcome, new members, to Theodore Parker Unitarian Universalist Church. You are... Somebody in the back, I'm going to assign somebody in the back to take a picture. So you are being recognized today for the commitment that you are making to this congregation. And to mark this commitment, you have signed our membership book and made a financial commitment. And if you haven't signed our membership book, please see me after worship. I have it with us, and we'll do that right after worship. But today, we officially and formally welcome you into this covenanted community. So for over 300 years, people have gathered in this congregation seeking something that they could not find on their own. meaning and purpose, a place to share their struggles and joys, a place to raise their children. And today you are joining this congregation that is called to exercise the muscle of hope in the midst of a world that is too often difficult and asks us to hide our light. You are called to share the liberating message of Unitarian Universalism, which is love at the center. And today we are grateful for each and for all of you, for the questions you bring, the struggles and joys that you share with our community, and the commitment that you have made. We are so glad that you found your way here. We hope that as members of this congregation, you will allow yourselves to know and to be known by others, to minister to others and to be ministered unto, to love and to be loved, and to share your life and your hopes with this congregation. So I'm going to ask two questions, first to the new members and then to the longtime members. So new members, will you help us to build a congregation that exercises hope, is real, and shares the best of our faith? Will you help this congregation and Unitarian Universalism to not be the best kept secret in West Roxbury? Will you join this community wholeheartedly, contribute generously, share yourselves with us, and both your joys and your sorrows? If so, please say, we will. And congregation, will you welcome these new members in good faith, accepting wherever they are on their spiritual journey and their life's journey? Will you teach them your treasured traditions while remaining open to growing with them and being changed by their presence? Will you help to co-create a congregation that exercises hope, makes space for us to be real, and shares the liberating love of Unitarian Universalism? If so, please say, we will. So new members, we welcome you to this community that is ever-changing, made better by your presence. And we bless you on your journey and our shared journey together. And let us say together a joyful amen. Amen. And I believe you've all already gotten your gifts, so I will invite you back to your seats and give us another round of applause. Welcome, new members. Welcome, welcome. So excited to have you. Welcome. And as people transition, we are also going to invite our children to go to Children's Chapel as we sing them out. And there's also a new religious education class for our older kids, our 4th and 5th graders who have finished their OWL class. We, kind of as a mark of how this congregation is growing, are splitting our religious education program into 2 classes because we've gotten too big for one classroom. So I invite all of us to sing the children out to their classes. So as we transition in energy a little bit, I invite us to join into a space of meditation and prayer. This morning we're doing spoken joys and concerns. And before we enter into that time of our service, I invite us to join in singing our centering hymn, Let the Life I Lead. But before you do that, let's just all take a deep breath together. And let us sing. And friends, we come into community to share our lives and our hearts with one another. And one of the ways that we do this is that we offer opportunities about once a month to share in a spoken format what joys and what sorrows are on our hearts. And we know that in sharing, our joys are multiplied and our sorrows are lightened. If you have a joy or a sorrow that you would like to share this morning, I invite you to come forward to the microphone, which I will grab in a moment, and share fully but briefly your name and what is on your heart, and to light a candle. And if you're joining us on Zoom, I invite you to type it into the chat, and I will share it out loud for us. I invite you now forward to share. Thank you.
As you know, the first Sunday in May is always the Walk for Hunger for Project Bread. And Theodore Parker will be having a team this year. And if you want to walk with us, please do sign up for the team membership page. It's important to remember all of the people who don't have as much as we have and who are dealing with hunger in their lives.
Hi, I'm David Forsyth. Just wanted to put in a word of comfort for my twin brother who has Parkinson's and anybody else suffering from neurological problems. But also celebration, the birds are returning. So.
Josiah and Neftali McDonald. Big joy to be accepted into the community. Another big joy is I'm getting this plastic thing off Thursday. And so we'll be back to our old selves, we hope. And just a concern, Neftali's grandfather, who is 105 years old, moved from the mountains of Lima, of Peru, to Lima with her mother so he could get some better care. 105, he's still going. It's awesome.
Hi, I'm Stency. This candle is a candle of concern for my mother, and it's also an appreciation of the endings and beginnings of life. I just got back from California. My mother, who's 98, is in hospice care, and it's probably in the last days or weeks of her life. And so I'm praying that she can spend them comfortably. But I also visited my daughter and grandson, and we were able to get 4 generations together while I was there. So it's the circle of life.
Hi, I'm Jessica. I just felt like I had this wonderful past week of past, present, and future, from Patriots Day to Earth Day to Space Week in Cambridge, to go way further in the future, and starting with Easter, going way far into the past. And it was just amazing. It's a time when I need to look forward and backward as well as at the present to have hope for the future. So I'm lighting a candle of hope.
I'm Deb Ferenz. This is a candle of concern for Abrego Garcia, for Khalil, for everybody, for what Kevin recently reminded me. There are 85,000 El Salvadorans, and God knows who else managed in that prison in El Salvador. I'm hoping this can be a candle of hope that something gets done.
And from people joining online, from Karen Bishop, a concern this morning. Yesterday, my friend Margaret traveled to El Salvador on vacation, and I am worried for her safety over the next 10 days. And from Tom Kydell, a concern. My brother-in-law, Bob, is laboring under health concerns that are creating greater tensions and difficulties for him and his family. My heart is with them as they soldier on. Light a candle for Bob. And for all of these joys and all of these concerns that we've shared this morning and all that remain unspoken in our hearts, we light a final candle. And let us take another breath together as we enter into a prayer and meditation. Spirit of life, divine spark that flows through all of humanity, known by many names through many times. Today we take a moment to pause and to remember our interconnectedness. To remember that we are not isolated beings, but always part of larger ecosystems. Spirit of life, help us to remember that we depend on each other, that the decisions we make affect the whole. Help us to turn toward cooperation instead of competition, compassion instead of conflict. Help us to build a world that honors our connections, a world where we take care of one another, where all might thrive, where each of us serve as stewards of our interdependence. Together, let us rest into several moments of shared silence and contemplation.
Each week, we take an offering to sustain the many ministries of this congregation. We give because we believe that we are part of something larger than ourselves. We give because we believe in music and sacred space, in transformation and in hope, in community and in love. We give because we know that it takes all of us sharing our many gifts to make this space possible, with the faith that we together, we have more than enough. Links to donate will be in the chat for those of you online and on the screen, and the ushers will be up and down the aisles, so give what you can. And the stream team shares the slide for the connection there. So as Jonathan plays, or you, Kiko, who's playing? Oh, okay, right in front of me. As we hear some beautiful music and offering to sustain this congregation, will be gratefully received. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Jonathan, for backing me up. Over the many miles we have traveled on our way, over the hopes and trials we have come now to this day. Now is the time of learning, listening, building harmony. Now is the time of growing, willing, risking to be free. Come dance with us, take hands with us, come work with us. As we move through history, come work with us. Make the bells ring with us, come love with us. Let me hold your company. Oh, you seeker, may you join us on our way. I am in you, you are in me, we welcome you today. We are the celebration, we're the joy, now's the time. We are the best of the poetry with the rhythm and the rhyme. I am another you, and you are another me. Let's circle it up, let's dance and join our hands in harmony. Come dance with us, take hands with us, come work with us. As we move through history, come love with us. Make the bells ring with us, come love with us. Let me hold your company. Oh, you seeker, may you join us on your way. I am in you, you are in me, we welcome you today. Oh, you seeker, may you join us on our way. I am in you, you are in me, we welcome you today.
Thank you, Brian. That was great. Here's a reading from Rosemary Watola Traumer entitled, For When We Greet Each Other. I want a new ritual for when we meet each other, strangers or beloveds, friends or rivals, elders or children. It begins by holding each other's eyes, the way we behold sunrise or the first cherry blooms, which is to say, we assume we'll find beauty there, and perhaps some display of open hands, a gesture with palms up that suggests both, I offer myself to you and I receive you. There should be a quiet moment in which we hear each other breathe, knowing that it's the sound of the ocean inside of us. If there are words at all, let them be formed, mostly of vowels, so they are heard more as song, more like a river, current and less like throwing stones. Words that mean something like, I do not know what you carry, but in this moment, I will help you carry it, or something like that. Everything depends on us treating each other well. And if we said it enough, perhaps we'd believe it. And if we believed it enough, perhaps we'd live it. Treating every other human like someone who holds our very existence in their hands, like someone whose life has been given to us to serve, even if it's only to walk together safely down the street, hold a door, pass a salt, share a sunset, offer a smile, and say with all our actions, you belong.
My script is freezing. There we go. So in northern Spain, there is a particularly special community of carrion crows. Now, throughout Europe, most populations of carrion crows breed in socially monogamous pairs. They build their nests alone, they raise their young alone, and when there's plenty of food, they will interact with the other crows. But during winter, when food gets scarce, they will retreat to their personal territories that are well-defended and exclusive. However, there is this one region in northern Spain where about 75% of the carrion crow population has organized themselves into stable community groups of 3 to 9 birds, and they practice cooperative breeding, meaning they feed and protect one another's young, and they share their territory year-round, even during the lean winter season. They roost with the other birds, and they continue to share their feeding grounds. And it's not entirely clear why this region of carrion crows has organized themselves more cooperatively than the rest of the species in their region, in Europe. But what is clear is the benefits that it brings to the birds. In these cooperative groups, not only do the offspring fare better, but the adults fare better too. For example, a typical adult crow loses more than 5% of their body weight during the breeding season feeding the chicks. But in these cooperative groups, scientists have observed that with more adults feeding the chicks, adult birds will often arrive at the nest, see that somebody else has already fed the chicks, and then eat the food themselves. Which is a benefit to them because as they adjust their feeding behaviors, they end up getting more food and losing less weight over the breeding season. In their cooperative society, their own needs get met a little more. Sharing their resources ultimately doesn't mean that they get less. It means that they end up with more. And their giving, their cooperation is not a sacrifice, but an investment in their own well-being. I've been thinking a lot about the value of interdependence, which is one of our core values as Unitarian Universalists. The interdependent web of all existence is a phrase that you might hear often. We are connected to all of existence in more ways than we can possibly understand. From the atoms that make up our bodies that once belonged to the stars, to the truth that whatever happens in one part of the environment has ripple effects we can never fully understand. We are not isolated beings, but we always show up as parts of ecosystems. And our actions affect the whole, for better or for worse. We do not survive, let alone thrive, in a vacuum. We depend on each other. Nature is rich with examples of our interdependence. The tallest trees on Earth, the redwoods of California, actually have incredibly shallow root systems. They grow over 350 feet tall, but their roots are only 5 or 6 feet deep. Yet they can extend up to 100 feet wide. As Donna Markova writes, the ancient redwood trees, huge as they are, have a very shallow root system, yet they cannot be blown over by the strongest wind. The secret of their stability is the interweaving of each tree's roots with those that stand by it. Thus, a vast network of support is formed just beneath the surface. In the wildest storms, these trees hold each other up. These trees hold each other up. Redwoods do not survive alone. They always grow in groves. Some scientists believe that they can even communicate with one another through their roots, that they share nutrients, that the stronger trees nurse the weaker ones through droughts and disease. And the key to their survival is their interdependence. Sometimes I think that the sin of our times is that we have forgotten our interdependence. I know that sin can be a tricky word for many of us, yet early 20th century theologian Paul Tillich described sin as simply meaning separation. And Tillich said, separation is threefold. There is separation among individual lives, separation of a person from themselves, and separation of all people from the ground of being, which is how Tillich described the ultimate, the holy God. Sin as separation. So much of what plagues our world right now is rooted in our culture's belief that we can exist without impact on one another, that we do not need one another, that we can separate ourselves from one another and from the earth. It is a hyper-individualism, an economy that values profits over people, a hunger for power and control, and an extractive orientation to our relationship with one another and with the earth. Too often, we forget our interdependence. Unitarian Universalist theologian Rebecca Parker writes, "There is no life apart from life together. In many Buddhist traditions, taking refuge in the Sangha, the spiritual community, is necessary for enlightenment. There is no salvation outside the church," said 3rd century Christian Bishop Cyprian of Carthage. These may be startling claims if you have been steeped in the dominant US culture of individualism, which suggests that looking out for number one is the only way to survive. But life is relational through and through. She continues, "Everything exists in interaction and interdependence with everything else. The question is not whether we are social, interconnected beings. That is a given. The question is how we shape our modes of being with one another and with the sources that uphold life." So how do we honor our interdependence? How do we shape our modes of being with one another and with the sources that uphold and sustain life? How do we approach this interconnection with reverence and respect for the fragile, powerful, miraculous, and mysterious thing that it is? Well, I think that each of our answers will look different from one another, but I do know that for myself, I need community that reminds me daily that I do not have to do this thing we call life on my own. And we were never meant to in the first place. I think of the powerful ways I've seen our UU congregations embody our interdependence throughout my life, both the congregations I've served and the ones I've been a member of. There was the mom in one congregation who walked through the doors of the church, timid after many difficult childhood experiences with religion, but whose preschooler was starting to explore their gender, and she had seen our rainbow flag as she drove past on her daily commute. She told me, "I'm not sure how I feel about church yet, but I know I need a loving and affirming place to raise my kid. I need other people who will back me up in teaching them that they are perfect just as they are." And then there was the man whose wife had died while their kids were in high school, and he had previously been very involved in the church, a board president. And he withdrew from the community and retreated into himself after his loss, after his kids had moved out of the house. A few years later, he was asked to be a mentor in our coming of age program, and he said yes as a favor. But over the course of the year-long program, he slowly began to re-engage with the community, reflecting on how he didn't need to hold his grief alone. He said yes to mentoring as a favor, a little reluctantly, but at the end of the year, he remarked on what a gift it ultimately was for him to be needed and to be asked. Years later, he remarried, with somebody he met at the church, a second marriage for both of them. And the whole congregation celebrated their wedding distanced outside in the spring of 2020. And then there was the mom who moved to town from out of state, who didn't have a job or know anyone, but who came to church and immediately found the other knitters. You know how knitters always find each other? She soon started volunteering at the thrift shop in the basement and got connected to job opportunities through people she had met. She and her kids settled in. When she was diagnosed with cancer, it was the church who showed up for her and her kids, coordinating meals and rides and company and accompanying her through her treatment. And I know that you have stories too of interconnections, of interdependence, whether from church or your neighborhoods, school communities, or your families or friends. There are meals and rides and walks and potlucks. There's teaching each other's children in religious education. There is the showing up for each other in big and small ways. And churches especially are built on the idea that we cannot do this, any of this alone, and we were not meant to. Friends, today our congregation welcomed 24 members. I misspoke earlier. 24 members who have joined over the past year. And I know from talking to many of you, both new members and longtime members alike, that you are longing for a sense of community, of support, of belonging, and of interdependence. Maybe you have already found it here, and that's why you keep coming back. Maybe it's what you hope you will find here, or deep in here. Maybe you know that others need you as much as you need them, and that you have something to give. Because it goes both ways, friends. Not only do we need others, but others need us too. And our new members are committing today to helping to build that kind of interdependence and mutuality and belonging alongside the rest of us, as best we can here in the neighborhoods of Boston. And new members, I am so glad that you walked through our doors. I am so glad that you have chosen to weave your journey alongside ours. Because interdependence is not just a nice idea found in nature. As Rebecca Parker reminds us, there is no life apart from life together. We need one another, friends. And here in this congregation, I believe we take that truth seriously. I'd like to close with words from George Odell. It's a responsive reading that's found in the back of our gray hymnal. And I stumbled across it recently, and it just felt so evergreen. So I'd like us to do it as a responsive reading together as it's written, and to really try to hear the words spoken by others around you. And to remember that this is true, these are true not just for us, but for everybody else in the room, for all of us. So thank you, Kevin, for putting it up on the screen. And I will read the italicized lines, and I'd love for you to read the plain text back to us. George Odell writes, "We need one another when we mourn and would be comforted. We need one another when we are in despair, in temptation, and need to be recalled to our best selves again. We need one another in the hour of success when we look for someone to share our triumphs. We need one another when we come to die and would have gentle hands prepare us for the journey. All our lives we are in need, and others are in need of us. Friends, we need other people, and other people need us. Let us remember and honor the mystery and the miracle of our interdependence, and let us tend to our interconnected web as an expression of our love and our faith. May it be so. And amen.
Oh, I guess I am. Could you?
I'll tell a little story about it.
Yeah, great. Go ahead.
So this hymn, I was sharing with this is a new hymn for many of us, all of us, I assume. I've only heard it a couple of times. It was written by the Soren Ostenfield, who's the music director in Malden. And one of the very exciting things that I shared with our choir this morning is that the Unitarian Universalist Association is working on putting together a new virtual hymnal that will be able to be updated regularly. And I learned recently that this song is going to be, I'm pointing to the screen as the lyrics are up, this song is going to be in the new virtual hymnal. So Jonathan and I are going to sing through the chorus, and then the verse will go into the verses, and you can sing along with all of it. I think it's a really beautiful addition to our canon repertoire. My courage is your courage when the journey is only getting longer. My strength is your strength. We will carry each other on the way. Try that. My courage is your courage when the journey is only getting longer. My strength is your strength. We will carry each other on the way.
So now we'll go to verse 1, which starts, I am looking.
I am looking for shelter in a friend. We can build a beginning, but I do not know the end. I am scared of breaking when I bend. We will carry each other on the way.
Chorus, my courage.
My courage is your courage when the journey is only getting longer. My strength is your strength. We will carry each other on the way.
There are prayers.
There are prayers I don't know how to say, but I still find solace when I close my eyes to pray. I have lost and what I hope can say. We will carry each other on the way. My courage
is your courage when the journey is only
getting longer. My strength is your strength. We will carry each other on the way.
I am full.
I am full and I am running out. I'm a flooding river and I'm living through the drought. I have firm conviction. My heart is full of doubt. We will carry each other on the way.
My courage.
My courage is your courage when the journey is only getting longer. My strength is your strength. We will carry each other on the way.
There are people.
There are people I have never was beautiful. Thank you all. Our benediction comes from Margaret Keep. As surely as we belong to the universe, we belong together. We join here to transcend the isolated self, to reconnect, to know ourselves, to be at home here on earth, under the stars, linked with one another. May it be so, and amen. Friends, a few announcements and invitations this morning. Please join us, if you're here in person, please join us next door in our parish hall for our potluck. It's right through these doors through our breezeway. And if you're joining us on Zoom, please stick around for our breakout rooms. If you joined today but have not yet signed our book, please gather right here, right after the service, and we'll sign it together. And a few other things are happening. So today, we at the potluck today, we are doing a new thing that I don't have a good title for. I'm calling it I Wish Someone Would. So the idea is on your tables, you'll find a piece of paper that says at the top, I wish someone would ... And if there is something that you wish would happen at TPC, maybe it's a new initiative, maybe it's something that used to happen that you would love to see come back. If you have an idea of what we might do together and you wish someone would do it, you can write it down on the paper. It's a wish list. It's a dream list. It's not necessarily a to-do list, but underneath each idea, there will be 3 spots to write down names. If you want to help make one of those ideas happen, if you see something and you're like, I would love to do that, I would love for that to happen, and I would love to make it happen, go ahead and write your name down underneath the idea. It can be your own idea, it can be somebody else's idea. Once there are at least, you can write down more than 3 people, but once there are at least 3 people who have signed up to make an idea happen, we are going to put them in touch with each other and bless them to go forth. So we're going to have this up at coffee hour today, or at the potluck today, and then at the next couple of weeks. Some of the ideas, the idea behind having 3 people is that we want it to be really sort of widely shared in leadership and kind of owned by a number of people to help it gain momentum and to see where the energy is at, right? Some ideas might just stay ideas, some ideas might come to fruition, some ideas might sort of get in touch now and get started in the fall, but it's a way for us to capture what some of the ideas are. Okay, so that'll be happening today. Please fill one out, and it'll be on the tables, and then I think we're going to put the pieces of paper in the parlor. We're going to put them up on the wall in the parlor. So if you're not sure kind of where, ask someone else, and we'll figure it out. I'm seeing that there's a Music on Center concert coming up, and there's probably flyers to give out. Is that right? Amazing, thank you. See Carol if you'd like to help put up flyers. We are asking people not to park in the breezeway, which is right under this arch right here during Sunday morning services because it blocks the accessible entrance. So please park elsewhere. There's information on our website about where you can find parking if needed. And two more announcements. Our church retreat, which is happening in the fall, September 26th to 29th, our church retreat registration is now open. So if you hope to come to the retreat, please sign up. See Brandy Hopkins or Jen Buchwald if you have questions or would like more information. It's a family-friendly retreat and it's a lot of fun. So sign up now. It's up in southern Maine in the fall. And lastly, we have an announcement from Kit about our community's relationship with our sibling community in Plazuelos, El Salvador.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Kit Shaw. So each Sunday, we recite our covenant in English and in Spanish in honor of our sibling community in Plazuelos, El Salvador. This relationship was formally established at the 2019 annual meeting, and TPC members and friends have visited Plazuelos 4 times since then. Last summer, the Plazuelos community made a first specific request to TPC, asking if we could help them build a new church in their community. A group of us, called the Plazuelos Parker Project, have met regularly to discuss how to best respond to this request. We decided to focus our help to fund building the floor for their church, which is estimated to cost $6,500 in materials. The community volunteers all labor on the project. We hosted an informational meeting on March 2nd at TPC, which I know some of you attended, to ask for your input. Since then, we have raised $3,600 from 14 donors within the PPP group. Thanks to Margot Custer, these funds have already been sent to Plazuelos and materials for the floor purchased. And in the picture, you can see the church that's under construction. The work to give the community's church a solid foundation is underway. We are now asking you, our community, to help us raise the remaining $2,900 by the end of May so that the materials can be brought to the community before the annual rains make transportation to Plazuelos difficult. Each donor will receive a Salvadorian bracelet, like the one I'm wearing here, as a small token of our appreciation. And thank you to Laura Maltby, who brought these back for us from her last visit to El Salvador. Contributions may be made on the donation page of the TPC website and directed to PPP in the drop-down menu by Venmo or by Venmo at T. Parker Church UU and entering PPP in the What's This For line, or by check to TPC with PPP in the memo line, and you can give those directly to me, which I will collect all and send them to the church office. Deb Ferenz, if you're here, thank you, will also be at the Justice Allies table after the service to receive any donations you want to make today while it's fresh on your mind. The Plazuelos Parker Project and the people of Plazuelos, thank you in advance for your support.
And Yukiko will offer our postlude, A Taste of Bass from Valerie Capers.